Radio ProLearning Canada. Listen up and learn with us at FM 101.3 on Sundays from 8 to 9 p.m. For any questions, please call 416-765-6417. Radio ProLearning Canada. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back to Radio ProLearning at FM 101.3, and this is Sarah Bukhari, your host. Before the lovely song by Juno Mars, we were interviewing Mr. Jack Kim, who is the founder and former executive director of Han Voice, the largest organization in Canada advocating on behalf of North Korean human rights and refugees. Today at Radio ProLearning, we are talking about human rights and the human rights violation and the status of human rights in various countries and around the globe in connection to the 800th anniversary of Magna Carta, the Charter of Rights. Radio ProLearning is also very lucky today to have another wonderful guest, Mr. Jahan Zeb Khan. He is uncle of Malala Yousafzai, the little girl who was shot a few years ago in Swat, Pakistan, by Taliban because her only crime was that she wanted to get herself educated. Mr. Jahan Zeb Khan will be talking about female education and human rights in connection with Mr. Ziauddin Yousafzai's visit to Canada. Mr. Ziauddin Yousafzai is Malala Yousafzai's father, and Mr. Yousafzai said on an interview in CTV that he was on the right side of history when he decided to send his daughter Malala to school on October the 9th, 2012. That day, Malala was famously shot in the head while on her way to her classes in Pakistan's Swat Valley. The shooting earned global attention, and Malala became an internationally recognized symbol and advocate for girls' education. In 2014, she became the youngest person to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Looking back on the shooting, her father said he has the peace of mind of knowing he was on the right side of history when he sent his daughter to school despite the danger she faced. Mr. Ziauddin Yousafzai also said, and I quote, "I think we were very clear what we were doing, and I think that I was very clear that the wrong thing has been done to us," he told CTV's Canada AM on Friday. In fact, as a father and somebody who believes in human rights, Yousafzai said it was normal for him to defy threats from the militant groups. A concerned citizen has to decide what option he has to take, whether he has to live for long in subjugation and under slavery, or he has to raise his voice for his rights and for his freedom, he said. Yousafzai spoke about the incident while in Canada to accept an honorary degree from Wilfrid Laurier University and to attend the opening of the Global Peace Centre Canada at the University of Waterloo. The centre will work to create a scholarship for students from conflict zones, Yousafzai said, and to develop curriculum for learning about peace. On its website, the center says its work is inspired by Yousafzai and his daughter Malala, and that it plans to begin working with universities, civil society and government in Pakistan before branching out to projects around the world. We are very happy to have Mr. Jahan Zeb Khan, uncle of Malala Yousafzai, here at Radio ProLearning. Hello, Mr. Khan. Assalamu alaikum.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सारा बुखारी साहिबा, कैसी हैं आप?
मैं जी बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक, आप सुनाएं, क्या हाल चाल है?
I am feeling very good to be on your show and to be speaking directly to your listeners. This is an honor for me.
Awesome, wonderful. So, Mr. Khan, tell our listeners about your organization.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Sarah. Just I want to have clarification. We at Global Peace Centre Canada, our board, myself, and all members, we share Malala and Ziauddin's vision for peace and education. Ziauddin is more than brother. I have lots of respect for my own brothers. and of course my one sister. But we share our vision and Malala and Ziauddin's vision for peace and education. So we are not biological brothers, but we are more than that.
Okay,
So,
wonderful to know that. So you are an uncle for love, of course. This is what I meant. So tell me about your organization, Yusuf Zai's organization, Global Peace Center Canada, and what is your role in that organization?
This is very interesting because I love to tell some small stories. When there was no forum for Ziauddin Yousafzai and his friend, which is staying with me, Ahmad Shah. He is president of Global Peace Council Pakistan, which came to attend Ziauddin's degree award. A doctor of law degree from Wilfrid Laurier University. So there was no forum. Talibanization came to Pakistan, and there was lots of violence. There was no forum. They created Global Peace Council of Pakistan, which we are also inspired by the same vision. So Malala, Ziauddin, Ahmad Shah, and many friends used that forum to bring their voice against militancy and for peace and education.
Awesome.
To the whole Pakistan, but also to the international world. So we are inspired by that Global Peace Council of Pakistan, and in that struggle and that movement, we established here in Canada Global Peace Center. Global Peace Center Canada, and the aim is, as you mentioned, to provide scholarships to mostly women, but people around all conflict zones. So right now we have commitment for 3 scholarships. Ziauddin spoke to Women Executive Network. They provided 1 scholarship for a graduate student, which will be coming this fall in September. Another anonymous donor, he came. He has provided 1 scholarship for another person. And Wilfrid Laurier University, we are in communication with them. This will be a huge scholarship. But we are working on that as well with them.
Awesome.
So there are many commitments, and another, Sarah, if I can mention here, we are developing basically peace curricula. So Wilfrid Laurier University Global Studies Department, their chair Tim Donay and his staff, his faculty members, education faculty from Wilfrid Laurier, Colleen and her staff, and Peace College, Conrad Grebel College at Laurier University. We are developing peace education curricula and resource guides, which will be available on our website and will be shared with universities in Pakistan, but all over the world. And in that work, we have established a partnership with 6 public universities in Pakistan. So we will not be developing peace curriculum in isolation, these resource guide in Canada only. We will be taking opinion. The working group will consist of educators from Pakistan initially, but all over the world. So
awesome.
this is a very good initiative, and we need your listeners and your support, Sarah. And this is a shared journey, and we need collaboration, partnership, and lots of support from people around the world.
Awesome. This is such impressive work, Mr. Khan, that you are creating peace education curricula, and it is not in isolation, and it is in partnership with very many universities around the world. So on another note, Mr. Khan, how do you think women should be empowered in the underdeveloped countries?
This is very interesting. This is one of our core area, which we have not yet articulated well on our website, but this is one of our major area. Usually, we think our people in power and politics think that men and states, governments will bring peace, which we see that most of the governments around the world is led by men. So women needs to take their own space. They need to come forward, but supported by people or person like Ziauddin Yousafzai, which has global voice now. And he is advocating for global, for bringing women on the global stage and take their own space. So shared, we don't want that just they should do that. Yes, of course, they should take leadership, but supported by enlightened men in their own countries, in Canada, and around the world. So that is the purpose. Now, how it should be done, this is really difficult, but the vision or the outcome will be if women come forward, if women take their own space, there will be really social harmony on neighborhood level in their own regions and countries, and it is really very good for economy. If we don't allow or encourage half of our population all over the world, especially in Pakistan and other conflict zones, really we are doing very bad to our own families and our own children. Because if I am working in an office or leading an organization, and if my wife is a teacher or professor, two people are contributing to not only to build or support our own family and children, but this is good economically better for our own family. If we don't think in countrywide or social harmony, this is people should think for their own family here. And this is really when women is empowered, when we have seen evidence shows that if women has education, they protect themselves from many, many harms. So I would really encourage fathers, brothers, and men to provide their support, to encourage their own daughters, sisters, mothers to take lead. And this is very interesting in our society, in Pashtun society, in Afghanistan and Pakistan. When we have dispute, men become wild. They want to fight back, if someone say. But when he comes back home and wants to take his gun, his mother, his wife or his daughter come in his way and they stop their dispute. So women has huge role in peace building in many societies, tribal societies, and many countries around the world which stop fight and contribute to peace building. So there are so many things which women can do. For example, when we see in Pakistan, when we see the role of Maryam Nawaz or Reham Khan, this is really, we have seen Benazir Bhutto. We need women, more women to come and take their own space from any party. It can be Awami National Party, People's Party, Nawaz League, or PTI. They should really come forward and take leadership on provincial level as well as on country level. And I will really encourage our leadership that if not more, at least 40 to 50% should, or 50% equal opportunity needs to be given to their women.
Mr. Khan, we're just going to take a short break, but you have beautifully explained the Pashtun culture where the women has empowered men to go for peace. So we're just going to take a very short break, and we will get back to you and talk about social harmony and women empowerment and the beautiful culture of Pashtun and, of course, Malala. A break.
Radio ProLearning Canada. Listen to learn with us.
Paramount Fine Foods. Craving for some Middle Eastern cuisine? Visit Paramount Fine Foods and enjoy the mouth-watering barbecue chicken baked in charcoal oven, exotic shawarma, and authentic shish tawak. Visit Paramount Fine Foods today in Scarborough, Niagara Falls, and Mississauga. Paramount Fine Foods, 647-499-1111. Paramount Fine Foods, 647-499-1111. Imperial Group deals in commercial and residential granite tops. Beautiful imported granite tops for your kitchens, bathrooms, basements, hotel and motel construction. Please call Imperial Group at 905-793-7162 for your granite needs. Imperial Group provides its customers with the highest quality and the finest craftsmanship while keeping affordable prices. Radio ProLearning Canada. Listen up and learn with us at FM 101.3 on Sundays from 8 to 9 p.m. For any questions, please call 416-765-6417. Radio ProLearning Canada. Welcome back, listeners. Radio ProLearning, FM 101.3, and this is Sarah Bukhari. We were just talking to Mr. Jahan Zeb Khan of Global Peace Center Canada, originated by Mr. Ziauddin Yousafzai, the father of Malala Yousafzai. So, hello, Mr. Khan, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you so much for waiting with us and enjoying our commercial. So let's continue our wonderful talk on the social harmony and women empowerment in the underdeveloped countries like Afghanistan and Pakistan, of course. So what do you think? What is this Taliban thinking which does not allow women to get educated, and how could it be crushed?
This is really a very sad and difficult situation, or even question. When people, the forces of darkness are, they live in darkness. Whoever that can be Taliban or ISIS, anyone. They want that people should live in very primitive societies, and they don't know really the message of peace from their own religion, which is Islam. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he conquered, when he came back to Mecca, he really didn't kill everyone. He said that when people don't harm children, elderly women, and if people close their door in their own home, they need to be in peace. So, and this is not happened anywhere in Pashtun culture. Never ever a child has been armed, or elderly, or women, and we saw that. In last few years, we saw in FATA, Federal Administrative Tribal Area, over 2,000 elders were killed. The Maliks and all these elders were killed, and we saw over 2,000 schools were bombed. In markets, there we saw bomb blasts. We saw recently 150 children were massacred, but the most horrific incident which has happened, or saw, every accident or incident was horrific, but when they didn't spare a single child, Malala Yousafzai, and they harmed her very badly, but God was on the side of peace. And we have Malala among us, and she was bigger voice before this, but she has become the biggest voice in the world now for peace and education. So,
awesome. Yes, I am such a strong, strong supporter of Malala, and so is my daughter Serena. She loves Malala Yousafzai. So let's talk a little bit about Malala Yousafzai. Which grade is she in now, Malala?
She is finishing her grade 11, and we had a wonderful conversation with Ziauddin. Malala wants to study philosophy and some other beautiful subjects, difficult subjects. So Malala is right now in grade 11. I think she has 2 more years in school, and she is planning, of course, to go to university. But let me bring Serena into this conversation. Your daughter's name is Serena, right?
Yes, no, she's not in the studios today, but we love the vibe of Malala. Malala is from Pakistan, and she is pride for all the Pakistani diaspora living in Canada, America, and around the globe. So give us a little message of Malala for the listeners of Radio ProLearning.
Malala message is the message of Serena, which I had the honor to meet with her. She wants that when I saw Serena, she is another Malala. And, if mother or father empower or encourage their children, they can become Malala, the same Ziauddin has done. And now Malala is really a worldwide. So Malala's focus is, of course, on Swat Valley. Malala's focus is on Pakistan, on South Asia, and of course everywhere on where there is need of education. We know that 57 million children are out of school, and young women young girls are out of school. So Malala's focus is to provide education to them, and we have lots of quotes from her that one child, one teacher, one book can change the world, and Malala has become that one person which can change the world. And she is a young person. She is a young child still to us and to me especially. Of course, she has become a young woman, a young girl, which is coming out, but she is still our daughter, our young girl, our young child. So her voice, with the passage of time, her voice has become bigger and louder, and inshallah, when she comes to university, I wish that she introduce her Malala resource guides. There is George Washington University has developed a resource guide on Malala's leadership. I wish that it needs to be taught all over the world in every college, school, and university. So Malala is doing so many good things, but she is focused on one thing, which is education and peace. And the same Ziauddin is carrying the same message. I shouldn't say that she is taking Malala's message, but we cannot say this is Malala's message or Ziauddin's work. It is whose movement or whom not. But they're going in the same way, in very in very heartfelt way. In a humble way, they are carrying their flag of peace and education.
Awesome. Wonderful. So awesome to talk with you, Mr. Khan. And I will call you my brother, Jahan Zeb Khan. You talked about the Peace Education Curricula, Malala Resources Guide, and Malala's vision and mission to provide education for the girls of Swat, Pakistan, and the larger world. Thank you so much today for being here with us at Radio ProLearning, Mr. Khan. And we'll definitely see you some other time here at Radio ProLearning.
And sisters, share my love with Serena, and the same, I wish that when Ziauddin comes next time, he comes on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.
Paramount Fine Foods. Craving for some Middle Eastern cuisine? Visit Paramount Fine Foods and enjoy the mouth-watering barbecue chicken baked in charcoal oven, exotic shawarma, and authentic shish tawak. Visit Paramount Fine Foods today in Scarborough, Niagara Falls, and Mississauga. Paramount Fine Foods, 647-499-1111. Paramount Fine Foods, 647-499-1111. Yes, listeners, Sarah Bukhari here. Thank you so much for listening to Radio ProLearning. I just have to share a thought with you. I feel very lucky to be living here in Canada, a country of Charter of Rights and Freedoms where Magna Carta is held supreme. And today, as we were talking about human rights and the status of human rights around various countries, I really feel very lucky. And I hope you share the same feeling. And by this thought, I bid you farewell. See you next Sunday, same time. Have a good night, sleep tight, and be your own miracle. Bye-bye.